I think you should start. It's almost the last episode.
What kind?
Lighty.
That sounded wrong coming out.
Yeah, I know. You don't have the accent.
What kind?
Can't put
What kind? What kind?
Meet you on the street, say, what kind, Lottie?
don't-
What kind, laddie?
How's it, guys?
How's it,
Welcome
maybe?
to the bench.
The bench.
The bench.
The bench.
The bench.
The bench.
Bench.
Yeah.
Back at it again with another episode. Hope you guys are keeping warm. Winter is here. I can never feel my hands. So what are you doing?
When your net worth is above a certain amount, you know?
So above 100 rand.
That's how we wear it.
Above 100 rand,
Yeah.
is that your net worth?
You don't worry about bank charges.
Bank charges. Oh my goodness.
Swipe everything, fam.
You don't tap.
I don't tap.
How you doing,
I'm not
fam?
broke if I don't tap.
Yes.
Oh,
Everyone taps now.
that's
I think you need to change your banking strategy.
Yeah.
Instead of change the way your bank account
I don't even
is
think my
set up.
card allows for tapping. That's how you know it's just
Are you sure?
it's just broke. fam. Your card doesn't allow you to tap. That's how you know, guys.
Might be broke, but it's vibes on
Yeah.
this side
Yeah.
of town. We're not broken vibe in the vibe
Nah,
department.
we're not broken the vibe department. The vibe, we rich.
Rich,
Rich.
plentiful.
Plenty
You know,
vibes.
took one loaf of bread and a fish,
You know,
fed-
fed 1,000, 5,000 people.
fed 5,000 people.
Yeah, you know the vibes.
But yeah, football, the bench and football
Yeah.
together as one.
I think
Tuna
firstly,
for life.
we should thank the people for making it this far. If you have started, you know, on the journey from episode 1 or
Where
episode...
Colin had a baby fro,
I had a baby for
and now he has locks for the
Now it's back. Now I step
curls
up
for the girls.
They call me Marcelo. I've won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. You know, that is me. I am him. You know, but if they followed us on the journey, well done for sticking it through.
Give you a
know.
trophy.
Take a trophy there on the side. Don't worry.
You committed to an entire season of South African League football.
And it was great.
It was great.
It was amazing.
It was the last round of games in the 2020-2021 inaugural DSTV Premiership League.
Yeah.
How did you find the last round of games? There's a lot of narratives that were going on as well.
I think it took me a while to get used to like seeing a last weekend of football, but all the games are not televised. You know, it's kind of weird. Usually when you watch other leagues and stuff, like it's like there's goal rush and like we switching between channels, figure out.
There's like picture
you know,
in picture in picture.
They scored a goal here, you know, and then that person's conceded. Like it's a rush.
You're
But
not
over
there
here,
yet.
over here, there's just like there was 3 games on TV, guys, and we just knew, you know, what was happening. But other than that, it was an exciting weekend of football. I can't lie.
So Pirates goalless draw against TTM. Pirates went into the game wanting to secure a top 3 finish because a top 3 finish meant they go back into continental football next season, and a draw took them into that.
Yeah, it was just
Secured it.
that game was just like a one-sided game.
Yeah.
Anything. I mean, TTM had nothing to lose. You know, their season was pretty much dead rubber.
Are you surprised that TTM finished
In not a relegation.
not in a
spot.
playoff, not in being relegated?
In a way, because I mean, there was a stage. There was a stage where we thought that these guys were gonna secure the bag and buy their way back into the league.
It
again,
was
and
a bit jammed for TTM.
clearly not. So well done to TTM, I guess. You know, on that part of it. You know, Pirates on the other hand, we thought they were gonna have a better season. You know, but yeah.
You live and you learn and you carry on moving. Swallows played Baroka FC. That game ended 1-1. Another draw for Swallows.
I think it's fitting.
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
They set the record for the most draws in a PSL season.
Every week we asked it to make it make sense, and they made sense, you know. So
Did not disappoint. Baroka FC went up in the league. I think Baroka actually did really well this season.
Yeah.
They're relatively decent. They had some big results that came out this
exciting
season.
football, young players,
And then,
ballers.
yeah, but also true to Swallows' narrative, they go 1-0 down. They find a goal. Ended the game as a draw. So yeah, they finished the season with 20 draws.
In the top 8.
20 in the top 8,
Yeah.
only 2 losses, but 20 draws.
22. More than double the amount of wins that they managed for the
That
season.
potentially could have been 60 points in their bag.
Oh my days. You know, when you put it like that, that is potentially 60 points. It's a howler. It's not I don't think it's a good thing at the end of the day. Yes, you are hard to beat, you know,
Yeah.
as a newly promoted team, but like
They've dropped 40
80
points.
draws.
They dropped 40
Yeah.
points this season.
Yeah, winners mentality.
Winners mentality. There was a KZN derby, Maritzburg United versus AmaZulu. That game ended 0-0. That game really wasn't a game-changer game, like with the narrative, last day football,
Yeah.
what's going to happen. AmaZulu basically secured a second place
finish.
with Coach Benny, my guy. Izzy.
Yeah.
Let's circle back to that comment a bit later in this episode. But it was an exciting game. I don't think you can expect anything less from both KZN teams. Both play quite attacking football.
Yeah.
You know, keeps you on the edge of the seat. What's going to happen?
I think a Maritzburg team is just, you know, Coach Middendorf came in halfway, like towards the end of the season, and all he wanted to do was just secure safety, you know, and then plan for next season. So I guess both teams now, it's just exciting platforms, you know. We're going to see them jumpstart next season.
And you look at Maritzburg on that log. A month or two
Way back when, you know.
Way back. It seems like it was ages. When I had orange hair. Maritzburg looked like they were going to be in a bit of a
dead and buried.
A relegation kerfuffle.
Finished.
And
you know.
They rose like a phoenix through the ashes.
They rose like a phoenix.
Rose like a phoenix through the ashes. Colin, again, with his top-tier football knowledge, was proven
But
wrong.
people know.
No, because your team didn't win.
Yes, but...
Bloom faced relegated Black Leopards. Game drew 1-1.
I mean, it was a worldie of a goal, fam.
But you played a
It was a
relegated
goal.
team.
Give
They're an
me time.
NFD team now. You played an NFD
Go
team.
back, guys. There's enough time. Go back, YouTube, the goal Cowboys scored against Celtics, you know. And then you can come back to this video and talk to me about what actually happened, you know. The fact that we actually came back and equalized, nonetheless, from a youngster, the guy's only 18, I think.
Came off the bench.
Played less than 10 games this season, you know. And to him to show that composure and stuff, back in the game, fam. So promising scenes, you know, from the City of Roses.
It wasn't a win, though.
It wasn't a win.
It was a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to come off a bench and to score an equalizer,
Yeah.
that's like mad.
As a young
Like-
18-year-old also.
That's mad. I want to be a goat energy.
Yeah. It is goat energy.
It is. It's
It
not,
is goat energy.
it's
It's not even a wannabe goat.
It's goat energy, isn't
yeah.
it? Like,
I'll give him that.
I can do it. I was looking at some of, like, you look at the league table for Black Leopards. They only secured 5 out of 30 wins.
Yeah, it was rough for them, eh? I mean,
5 out of 30 wins.
the entire season, it was just attractive football, but there was no results, you know? That was the only thing that was missing.
5 out of 30 wins. That's insane.
What's the percentage?
6. Quick math.
I don't know. Double check that.
Chippa United, SuperSport United. That game also ended in a 1-1 draw. Chippa United were fighting a relegation playoff battle
It's basically a relegation.
on the bottom half of the table, and they really needed to secure a win, which they didn't.
Yeah.
They did take the lead.
Late in the game.
It did look like it was going to be more than it was.
Yeah. And I
And
think
then-
SuperSport just came through to spoil the party and just, do what they did. You know, I mean, conceding a goal in the 93rd minute for Chippa United pretty much sums up their season. You know, they were a team of like almost, you know, they almost made it to safety and then they didn't, you know. They almost had a good team with Bienvenu and Augustine, and then boom, what happened? You know, you finish 14, 15, and then now you're playing relegation battle, and then, you know, is what it is.
These things happen. I'm hoping that SuperSport United learn from these things.
Yeah, they had like a weird season. I mean, you have the guy who scored the most goals in the league, but yet you're finishing outside of the top 4. It doesn't,
Finish 5th. They're in the top 8.
you know.
They had 11 out of 30 potential. Like, they drew 11 wins and 12 draws.
Yeah.
Too many draws for
But
my
not a lot
life.
of L's then.
7 is
It's a lot, but like
it's
it's
about there.
still more draws than wins than L's. I'll give you credit there. You know, you won more games than you lost, and you weren't like a certain team drawing 20 games. So
A certain team drawing 20 games. Yeah, no, but you are correct. Bradley Grobler, top goal scorer in the PSL this past season, 16 goals, correct?
yes,
He scored, I think, half of SuperSport's goals.
that's mad. That's mad when you put it in that perspective. And plus, too, he was injured
He was
for a
injured.
couple games. So you kind of understand, you know, if there's a man who scored half of the entire team's goals out for a couple of games, the position that it puts the team
There
in.
was that little bit of a slump in their performance,
Yeah.
but the fifth finish ain't that bad,
It's not that bad.
considering fighting elements in the beginning. They're fighting
Yeah.
lightning, hailstorm,
Hailstorms,
then
tropical cyclones.
an injured certified goal scorer
Yeah.
at some point, finishing in a top 8 position, come back next season, better, stronger, faster. So yeah, connected to that Chippa United game was Stellenbosch FC and their performance. They played Golden Arrows. Game ended in a goalless draw, but the only thing all of you people need to know is that the team that was selected by random chance for me to support this season did not get relegated. Did not get relegated. Did not get
But where did
relegated.
they finish?
Did not get.
Where did they
Doesn't
finish?
matter.
There
You know,
we go.
they're in the
There we
PSL,
go.
Carla. Next season we'll be there in the PSL. In the PSL next season.
I wouldn't be happy if my team finished or your team finished. But you know, I chose a team of winners. You know, and that's just who we are. Winning energy, boss energy, whatever you want to call it, fam. At the end of the day, I wasn't worried about relegation on the last day of football. And yeah.
Stellenbosch is still new to the PSL, guys.
Yeah, sure, excuses.
So, you know, you have to learn how to swim with the floaties on. Next season, the floaties are off. We're going to be banging in goals, doing a better performance.
Okay.
It's the opposite for Golden Arrows because Golden Arrows did
Yeah.
really well. And then
like, not even, like 80% of the season, 90% of the season, these guys were playing amazing football. And then to finish the way they did was
Coach
just...
Insagazi.
Yeah, no, well done. Yeah, if you give him a clap, well done. You know, he deserves it. I mean, the things that he pulled off with that team in particular, it was amazing. But the way you finish it off, I guess it's just fatigue, you know, especially coming from a team like ours where you don't have the squad depth of bigger clubs above you,
Younger
like a
players.
Chiefs or Pirates, you know, and he did have younger players, you know, who did come up from the youth system. So if you put all those variables together, well done to Coach Mandla, you know, and actually finishing in a top 4 place, you know. 1 win in the last 5 games though.
Not the best way you want to end off a season,
Yeah.
but I don't think you can judge a season by this last
Yeah.
game. You have to look at it in
its entirety.
exactly English. TS Galaxy, Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs secured a final day win.
Yeah, I felt bad for TS Galaxy though.
Oh,
I
guys.
felt bad for TS Galaxy. Not, you know, I would have loved for Kaizer Chiefs to finish. You know, because we got to be low-key objective, yeah.
That was the battle.
Yeah,
it was TS
yeah,
Galaxy,
it was a battle
Kaizer
for top
Chiefs
8.
for top 8, which is
Nah.
a big thing.
It is a big thing because you end up playing.
There's money involved there,
There's a lot
guys.
of cash, fam.
There's money
A lot of
involved
cash
there.
involved in this thing.
Yeah, Kaizer Chiefs, I didn't expect them to win. They fired
Yeah, they fired Gavin Hunt.
Gavin Hunt.
You know,
no one knew what was going on.
They hired Atazwane and Shepherd to take over as interim coaches. You know, they're not proven coaches. You know, first team coaches in the league. So that was a new experience, I guess, for the players and the club as a whole. You know, and going into the last day, they needed a win.
And Big Nurk scored the goal that
Big
led
Nurk came
them.
through. The man who they were questioning whether
They
he was a
were.
one-season wonder. You know,
They were.
They know who they are. The people who
Chiefs
were questioning
fans.
Big
Look
Nurk.
at yourself in the mirror. Big Nurk came through, secured you guys. 3 points secured. Sneaked. They sneaked into. That's the correct word for Kaizer Chiefs.
They literally made it by 2 goals.
They sneaked into the top
goals.
8. Like, do you know when your mom is cooking food for the family function and then she goes away and then you sneak into the kitchen and you just open the pot, grab a piece of meat? That's what Kaizer Chiefs did
That's
into
crazy.
the top 8.
Imagine having a battle for top 4, but we both have negative goal difference. You know, that just shows that Kaizer Chiefs.
They were off it.
They were off it this entire
And I'm
season.
hoping that they find it, whatever it is, next season. That thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they played 2 games, the last 2 games of the season, with Coach Atazwane. And I know I'm going to offend some of you guys, but this is when I know that the specific fan base, Kaizer Chiefs, is delusional. He's only played 2 games. Yes, he won both those games. Yes, they got an MTN 8 qualification. Now they're saying he is the man. He's the chosen one. Where's the contract? Sign it.
Guys.
Chosen one. He's going to deliver Chiefs to the CAF Champions League final.
This is L mentality.
He got them into the
I
MC.
can't do it.
I was like,
Yeah. It's hype.
What?
It's hype. They're eating the hype, man. It's
Have
not-
they been so emotionally abused by those clubs?
They
Two
have.
2 wins in a row.
So do we blame them then? Do we blame them? Clearly they've been going through a lot.
Abusive relationship, guys.
Yeah,
Recognize
toxic,
it.
toxic.
You need to leave.
It takes 9 times,
Call us for help. We'll listen. We'll give you guys a lending ear. Every time I speak to one of my Chiefs, like every time I speak to a Chiefs supporter,
Yeah.
and I know they're a Chiefs supporter, and I bring up Chiefs, they go from like being happy to
Like this is how far we've fallen.
why
This is my reality.
why are you bringing it up, Narika?
My day was so good.
It's a Saturday. I'm
you
trying to
know?
have vibes. I'm trying to be
Yeah.
out in the sunshine. I'm trying to, live a nice life. You're bringing up Chiefs.
Not
No,
a
but
nice
like
person.
credit to Chiefs. I didn't think
I'm
they
not
would.
clapping.
I didn't think they would end up in the top 8, and they did.
Barely.
Just
Barely.
top 8 is top 8.
Nah.
They finished in the top 8.
I give you a
What does that mean?
half a thumbs.
Half a thumb.
Yeah, half.
Half a thumb. I actually knew someone who had half a thumb. Story for another day. And to round it up, Sundowns beat Cape Town City 3-0 in fitting fashion for champions who did not win it once, twice, 3 times, but are unprecedented 4 times crowned PSL champions. 4 Peats.
Mm-hmm.
Any surprises there?
No. No surprises at all. To end the final day with 3 goals and 2 goals from the best player in the league. And the type of goals that he scored was amazing. It was an amazing game of football. I mean, they got the God of Honor. They controlled the whole game. The football that they played was just beautiful football. I think what surprises the most out of having this entire season and watching it is that the fact that having 3 coaches actually looked like it benefited, Sundowns. I mean, it was kind of sad that they did end of the season, with one L, but
yeah,
that's all in the past. That's all in the past,
And they go for the 5 Peats.
We are in the presence of a dynasty.
It is a dynasty.
We are witnessing greatness. We are all witness.
Hashtag dynasty, guys. Sundowns is a dynasty. So Lila K opened up the scoring. They went up 1-0. I'm not surprised that Cape Town City did not score a goal. They've kind of fallen short in front of goals this season.
New coach, Eric Tinkler.
Underperformed in a lot of games. But it was the Mamelodi Sundowns show. Cape Town City were just there to make up numbers on the field. And Finish Shalulile was in the race for the PSL top goal scorer.
I mean, he started the game not being in the race. Nobody even thought that he was actually going to score goals, enough goals to catch up Bradley Cobbler. And then he ended up scoring.
Scored 1 goal.
Yeah.
16-14. Scored the second goal. 16-15. I think everyone wanted him to score a third
goal. He hit the bar,
goal.
and it was like,
We wanted him to do the hat trick so that...
Yeah.
And I think it would have been fitting
That would
because
have been fitting.
Bradley Cobbler is a certified baller, certified goal scorer, but Finish Shalulile has also proven, and it would have been nice to have 2 players finish off with 16 goals this season. It was not meant to be, but big ups to Finish Shalulile with his coming second place in the Golden Boot. Silver Boot. That's not a thing.
But first in our hearts.
But first in our hearts. Something also quite crazy is Kekana and Onyango are 8-time league winners.
That's madness.
They got 8
That's mad.
medals,
Some
guys.
people don't even have 1.
8. They've extended their record of players with the most league. That's crazy.
That's madness.
That is super crazy. Yeah. So both of them have won with SuperSport and Sundowns, but 8. Do you think they can donate 1 to me?
I mean, if you also it nicely, maybe.
What do you even do with 8?
You can frame it. We put it on our little table over there.
In a
Have it
frame?
over there. Be like,
What do you do with 8
league
medals?
I don't know. I'd give.
Start giving it away.
I'm that nice of a person,
Start giving it away.
The vibes.
So it's been a long season. If you don't know, now you know Mamelodi Sundowns were crowned champions.
Yes.
AmaZulu did a great performance coming in second. Orlando Pirates in third. Golden Arrows rounded off the top 4 at 4th position. Then SuperSport Solace, Cape Town City, Kaizer Chiefs. That is the top 8. And then just filters down. TS Galaxy just missing in on that top 8 position. Baroka FC did really well, finished above Bloem, Celtic. TTM,
we're still getting to your team.
TTM, who I think at some point in the season we didn't think would make it to
surprising
live another season.
Yeah.
They did. Maritzburg United, which we will always be grateful for because another KZN team survived another season.
Thank you.
Stellenbosch just skipped out on a relegation battle.
Finishing below.
Doesn't matter because in the next season they will be there. Chippa United are going to go into a PSL playoff with the teams from the NFD to be confirmed.
That's a whole cluster.
We don't know what's going on there. They might need to talk to Dr. Full. They might need to call Felicia back.
Call Maury.
Call Ricky Lake to come figure out what's going on between the PSL and the NFD. But I would be very happy to see Royal AM in the PSL only because of their CEO / captain / midfield extraordinaire Andile Mpasane. But more on that next season, and we are sad to see Black Leopards go. And then the PSL Awards was the cherry on top of
the weekend.
The cherry on top of the cake to end off the season.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of amazing.
A lot of the things we called.
Weekend. Yeah, I know, it's kind of obvious. I know everybody knows. This is brilliance, guys. As I said, we all witnessed, and it was kind of obvious. If you didn't know, now you know.
PSL Young Player of the Season was Evidence Makhopa from Baroka FC.
I'll be giving awards.
No, he's not yet. Do you want to take another one? No surprise there. Well, you can't be surprised because Baroka FC did perform.
And as you said, they did have a very young side. And I mean, we have spoken about him on the show before, about how he did come up clutch in some games, scoring goals, saving points for them, and he performed. I mean, to see a young South African guy perform, I mean, well done to Mr. Evidence Makhopa.
PSL Coach of the Season. It was tough competition. We had Mankobe Ngiti Rulani, Coach Mandla Nkagazi, and Benedict Benny McCarthy.
Benedict?
Yeah.
Benedict?
I think his name, I think that's
Is it Benedict?
I think it's Benedict.
Or did you just go with Benedict?
No, I think it's Benedict.
Is it Benedict?
Don't quote me. Someone fact check that. Benchwarmers fact check that, but I think it's Benedict. Coach of the Season. I told you guys, he is the one to lead us to success.
I don't think this was a fair call.
Why?
Because you had a team which only lost one game the entire season.
But he took AmaZulu to second.
I don't care.
He took AmaZulu to second.
But you know what? At the end of the day,
you're allowed to be wrong.
We're not the one who's voting, and
Colin's allowed to be wrong.
We're all allowed to have an opinion, and even if your opinion is wrong.
Colin's opinion is wrong. Yeah. So just so you know, player of the season, the top three for the PSL player of the season and the PSL player of the season was the same top three. Thabiso Kutumela from Maritzburg United, Tembazane from Mamelodi Sundowns, and Finish Shalulile from Mamelodi Sundowns. Big ups to Thabiso Kutumela, who put in a season. Yeah, no, he put Maritzburg on his back. Shoulders are aching, fam. Yo, guys. So he needs that. What's that thing you put? The lumbar support. That thing, fam. That patch. That DP, you know? DP patch. Carried Maritzburg United. Thabiso Kutumela had an amazing season. But all is fair in football and all. Yeah, I guess so. Because we knew from the beginning that Finish Shalulile was going to win it. I don't think anybody could have touched player this season. PSL player of the season, Finish Shalulile, my guy. I will always be sad that Safa and Bafana have not registered you as a South African citizen so you could do the things for our national team. But I'm always amazed and happy to see you on the field playing, doing bits, because you are one of the greats. Forever, forever grateful. Some of the other awards that they give out, well, that were awarded out, handed out. PSL Goalkeeper of the Season. Honestly, my money would have been on Veli Mota because he's just... I would have backed that because he wasn't entertaining the season and he was vital in AmaZulu actually finishing second. But went to another Mamelodi Sundowns. I mean, he already has 8 medals. You know, I feel like he didn't need this award, guys. Goalkeeper of the Year, Dennis Onyongo. Defender of the Season. No surprise there, a Sundowns. If you only lost one game the entire season, clearly there's something being done right in that defensive line. So Lubuso was one of the nominees. Tapelo Kloki was another one, but it went to Solos FC and Jabulu Nkobo. Can't be mad at that because they
Can't be
lost
mad at it.
2 games, drew a lot of games.
20 draws, you know, which means that you're hard to beat. And he's a veteran in the league, so he knows what he's doing. So shout out.
And then, yeah, Timbazani was on the list nominated for 3 things. Player of the season, but ultimately he did not walk out of the PSL Awards empty-handed. He was gifted the PSL midfielder of the season. Other nominees was his fellow Sundowns player, Rivaldo Kutsia. Like, Sundowns are just here. They just,
scattered.
You go through and it's just Sundowns.
Basically the Sundowns Awards.
It was the Sundowns Award.
Sundowns Award.
What happens at the actual club awards?
Yeah.
Is it just going to be Timber and Peter?
Just 2 people. You just invite 2 people.
Do they just stand there?
Yeah.
You know, like when you're at school, you and the smart kids.
When
you're in high school and
you're getting ready to read out their names.
And you go to award ceremony and and they go per subject. And there's always that one smart kid where you just want the teacher to say, just stand here. Award for maths. To you, physics, business studies, accounting. That's what they need to do with Peter and Timbazane.
My legs used to ache after award ceremonies, you know.
Cap. But that is a wrap on a magnificent PSL season. Please drop a comment. Mamelodi Sundowns fans, come through and show love for Peter Shalulile for winning all these PSL awards.
Yep.
Let us know what you think about Kaizer Chiefs sneaking into the top 8. Is that not a flagrant foul? Is that not do we not call that as a foul? Surely that shouldn't be allowed. They sneaked into the top 8. But their season's not done. They still have CAF Champions football to save it. So who knows what's going to happen? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's all love. You know the vibes. Until next time.